We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's go.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Silence in the room right now, but your words still keep me up. Don't know why I let this burn when I shouldn't give a fuck. The more I try to let you go, the more I still think of you. No wonder I just can't get over my insomnia. My insomnia. My insomnia. I took uppers to lift me up when the downers became a crutch. I should know better, but I relapse. Blame you for the memories I don't really wanna keep, 'cause of why I never sleep. All I have is silence in the room right now, but your words still keep me up. Don't know why I let this burn when I shouldn't give a fuck. The more I try to let you go, the more I still think of you. No wonder I just can't get over my insomnia.
That's my guy, Judah Holliday, Mr. East Coast, living now in Florida.
Hey,
How are you, Judah?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. That's Insomnia, everyone. Is that on your new Blackout EP?
No, that's a new single that I just released today, which came out. We released Blackout 2 weeks ago, and we're just like in this pattern of constantly releasing, music and trying to keep that energy up.
You're doing well. It's very EDM. That's what you're going for, I take it.
It's kind of just I wrote it with a guy named JT Roach, who is who's on a lot of EDM tracks, and Kevin Rudolf produced it. When we write, we don't really like say we want to do this style or whatever. It's kind of whatever feels natural. So I guess, the drop is a little EDM-ish, if you will, but it's just whatever comes out, we release. And there's some tracks that are just, acoustic, or some are a little bit more up-tempo like this.
Did you ever see yourself heading into this direction when you started playing drums at the age of 7 and then writing your first song at the age of 14?
I knew that I always wanted to pursue music. It's just that it was very difficult to raise awareness, when I was in school and all these different things. So I never went out for school. I went to college locally in New York, and I tried my best to just keep writing and keep pursuing what I love to do. And then when I moved to Miami, I got a little bit more involved on the production side, which opened me up to realizing earlier on releasing music independently and trying to, gain a following. So I feel like it's always been something that I've hoped for, but I probably always thought it was like a pipe dream a little bit until I got a record contract. Then it was quite real.
You've got skill. I mean, your music, your songs, everyone is really, really good. It's very succinct. your narrative is unquestionable. You get to know who you really are, and it's very interesting. It has a little bit of like a Lil Peep vibe, like it's like what I'm feeling, because you're very 80s 90s ish in your style and your energy, if I'm getting that right. And it could be just that, you know, you're originally from the Bronx, you're an East Coast guy, and we as East Coast people are very much in tune with where we've come from, and it seems to follow us in everything that we do.
Yeah, I mean, I've had trouble with lyrics for a while. I collaborate a lot. I think one of the reasons my music is doing well is because of the people I collaborate with. Just like any other job, for me at least, when you collaborate, I just feel like things end up better. And I remember when I used to not collaborate and comparing it to like now, and it's just night and day. And I think that I owe a lot of that to my, you know, co-writers and producers, and that's really like how you could sort of like launch a career by not being afraid to work with others.
Absolutely. And I for some reason, it seems like that's easy for you to do, is to collaborate with other people and just, you know, to hold your own.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote for a very long time on my own. I used to be afraid of writing with other people because I would get hung up on split sheets and who gets what. Until my manager one day just kind of was like, stop worrying about the wrong things, you know, like get the song right, and then everything will fall into place. And once I just decided to collaborate, I can't not. It's just so much, it's easier. It's like a load off of your chest. You don't need to worry about doing everything, and you could ask for help. And it's just a very good way to work on your craft.
Do you find that you're not only learning, but you teach at the same time with those who you work with?
I'm not, I guess you could say my self-esteem is not as high as maybe like I'd like it to be one day, but I don't know. I mean, people say that I'm very good at melodies, and I kind of believe that. So yeah, I assume that if I'm in a writing session with someone and they see, you know, how I derive inspiration, they might be able to get a pointer or two from me. Sure.
What's been the number one learning lesson that you believe has shaped you to be who you are today?
Just that things really take a while to pan out, and it's important to be able to be okay with not knowing what a result will be, and figuring out a way to work around that, because there's just a lot of unknowns in music and in work in general and jobs. And if you believe like in what you're doing and what you have to offer, whether it works out or not at a specific moment, you'll have the ability to continue knowing that you'll be able to make something for yourself. So I believe that no matter what happens, you know, now or with my songs, if they'll continue to do well, or with the, you know, COVID-19, if it slows things down, like this is all I've got. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And somehow I'll make it work. So that's really what I've learned to believe in and own.
Is insomnia something personal that you had experienced?
Yeah, it's basically being so obsessed with someone that you're just up all night thinking about them and wishing that, you know, you're with them. And I feel like a lot of us have, and I try and write songs about situations I've had. And yeah, a lot of these songs are personal because that's really where I am able to speak most honestly based on experience and not, I guess, like theory or ideas. So yeah, it is.
Insomnia by Judah Holliday on Power 98.5.
I shouldn't care where you are, who you're talking to at a bar. Shouldn't mind if you're in the dress I bought you. You said we should still be friends, but you're still messing with my head. 2 a.m. when you send me text, can I call you? Silence in the room right now, but your words still keep me up. Don't know why I let this burn when I shouldn't give a fuck. The more I try to let you go, the more I still think of you. No wonder I just can't get over my insomnia. My insomnia. My insomnia. I took uppers to lift me up when the downers became a crutch. I should know better, but I relapse. Blame you for the memories I don't really wanna keep, 'cause of why I never sleep. All I have is silence in the room right now, but your words still keep me up. Don't know why I let this burn when I shouldn't give a fuck. The more I try to let you go, the more I still think of you. No wonder I just can't get over my insomnia. My insomnia. Silence in the room right now, but your words still keep me up. Don't know why I let this burn when I shouldn't give a fuck. The more I try to let you go, the more I still think of you. No wonder I just can't get over my insomnia. My insomnia.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
It's perfect because it's a cocktail drink song. I can see myself, group of people, maybe after a fashion show, an event or something, sitting down, chillaxing, moving our feet, having a glass of champagne, vodka, cranberry, or even just once you're, get that flow, get that move, that energy going, start dancing. So it's a good balance. It's a great sit down song with some movement, and it's a great, okay, I'm ready to get up and move my ass.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we have to look forward to next from you? Because you've got a lot of songs that are really going to be, coming out and shaking and moving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly writing and releasing. We don't have any plans right now for touring yet because it's still a little bit too early to begin, booking stuff and jumping on different legs of tours. But I'm releasing a lot of music. I have more songs lined up, to go out, and we're trying to put out 30 songs in 2 years, and we're at 22 today, which is a lot in about 18 months. So I just think it's very important to keep a strong presence and not focus too much on whether or not the song is the best song. Like, nobody knows anything about what'll work, what doesn't work. Like, it's just like, it's all opinion based. And for me, I just like to write, record, and release it, and do the same thing over and over again, and keep just sending music out for people to hear and give me feedback and keep going, because that's all I do. That's what I do best. And people could look forward to a lot more music coming from me.
And it works, honestly. And for you, the reason why I say that is because you're not standing in your way by over focusing, over worrying about the numbers scheme. You're doing what a music artist is to do in their best and at their best. And that's focusing on the content, the creativity, the spark, the lyrics, the layout, and across the board. And I want to give a shout out to DJ Sandra. Because of her is how I end up finding you. And I'm so glad, especially with trusting her taste and what she looks for in people, especially music artists. And it says a lot. It really does about you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I want to play Blackout. I really am into this song. You want to hear it?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Blackout by Judah Holliday.
I've been on fire, 'cause I'm no fun when I'm watered down. I can keep quiet, but you can't tune me out when I come around. If I don't feel you, maybe it's 'cause I've been going numb. Need a new poison, doesn't matter where I might get it from. I need to believe that you're still there for me. And I need to believe that we're playing for keeps. I stay under control till I fall out. I don't know who I am when I black out. Say you'll still be close to me right now. You don't wanna see me when I called you up wasted, 'cause I can't deal with the weight of my guilt. I've been impatient, even in sleep, no I can't sit still. I need to believe that you're still there for me. I need to believe that we're playing the keys. I stay under control till I fall out. I don't know who I am when I black out. Say you'll still be close to me right now. You don't wanna see me when I black out. I stay under control till I fall out. I don't know who I am when I black out. Say you'll still be close to me right now. You don't wanna see me when I black out.
I don't know if this is you, but I really hope it is. Who
What-
is in the EP cover of Blackout wearing the panda hat or the panda face?
Well, just to be honest, it's not me.
It isn't you.
No, it's it's a photo that I connected with and manipulated it to make it sort of like, it's funny because my wife has a panda hat.
Does she?
Um,
Okay.
I guess that could be taken in in a weird way, but yeah, I like to use things that are available to us, that are free to use, and give people credit. I think that the photographer of the photo is somewhere on my site, but I just think that this whole thing is a collaborative process, and being able to not do things on your own is important, because you're just able to get a better result working with others, and it's just easier that way.
With this, and it's just a thought, something fun. You know how with Marshmallow, how he's got his little helmet and everything, and people are like,
Right.
"What's this?" It would be very interesting, and I know you can pull it off because you've got that UK type of style about you. Either having a mascot that's a panda wearing that head, or you coming out once in a while putting that head on because something you can get away with it. You've got the personality, you've got the look, but I don't know. I just when I come and see one of your live shows, once it can happen and things start opening back up, I want to see a panda head somewhere.
I might have to just do that then.
Seriously, I want to see a panda head. I've been asking some music artists this lately because I'm on a huge vinyl kick. Got myself a vinyl player, uh, getting my vinyls going back, Leonard Skinner, Eagles, Queen, just got in Elton John. I mean, Tom Petty. Are you going to have a vinyl? Because I really want a vinyl and I want to purchase one.
Yeah, we are thinking of printing vinyls. Yeah, we have spoken about that. And it's just, I mean, it's not because everything is digital. It's not really like a huge priority for us right now, but we have spoken about printing some up.
Is that a way maybe you can find a company where it's print on demand, where you send them whatever information, or they work with your distribution company or producer, whoever, and those who put any order, then you can sort out?
I mean, vinyl is very expensive to make, and I don't know that the people that I've used in the past are called disc makers. They're actually, I think they're based in New Jersey. And you have to order like a certain amount, I think, but I don't really handle any of that stuff. So I'll definitely tell my manager that we got a request for some vinyl. So hopefully he'll be able to push it through.
Let them know I'm ready to buy one.
Awesome.
Seriously, there is something about playing a vinyl that's so different. And, I could care less, about when it comes to the expense. It's the investment. It's very different. And I feel
Right.
very much grateful to come from, being Gen X, coming from the generation I come from, because we listen to music very differently. And I remember in the 80s, it was always about how can we make the sound quality even better than where it's at right now. But when
Right.
you go back and really listen to the way albums were created and what was put into them and the details, you get so much more to be able to envelop and to be able to not just step into your world, but to be able to feel and embody your world through a record, than being able to go on Spotify or iTunes and to be able to hear it through their own format and, their own frequency. The frequency of a vinyl is unprecedented.
Right. And it's also like what the artist imagined you would hear, rather than going through another, like you said, chain of compression or whatever it is. It's a more intimate listening experience because it goes right from the mastering engineer onto the vinyl into your ears, and not through some sort of like digitally mastered or compressed sort of algorithm like it does on online.
Is there anything that you would like to share, Judah, that is important in your life right now?
Yeah, I used to be addicted to Adderall, and I've been clean from that for a year and a half. I was in rehab for it. It was very hard for me to get off of it, and I had a lot of difficulty a few years back. So I'm very happy now that I'm off of it and functioning perfectly fine. So that's really the highlight of my music career right now, which is being able to put out great music and
I lost you for a moment. The last thing I heard you say, Judah, was you're very grateful to put out music.
without being on pills.
And how many years?
Like 20 years,
Wow.
all through school. And yeah, I mean, I was sort of like brought up to believe that I needed that in order to be okay, and in order to, you know, do well in school and just do well in life in general, until it just got to a point where it was just way too, you know, intense, and it made me very angry, and sort of like not able to focus on anything. I was so scatterbrained, I couldn't have a conversation. But now things are just totally different for me, and I'm able to complete tasks and put out music, you know, the right way, and not have to worry about, you know, taking medicine, stuff like that.
Throughout your years, did anyone come to you and say, Judah, we're concerned, or to question, you know, what are you doing? Why are you going in this direction?
Yeah, my parents, my manager, my wife, everybody always questioned it, and I was just afraid to give it up. So I would just blame the doctor and say, you know, this is what I'm prescribed. You need to learn to accept it. I understand, like, that you don't necessarily believe in people taking that, but it was just like a load of crap. It was just an excuse to try and get their approval, to take more, and not be on my case. But a couple of years ago, like, things essentially like spiraled out of control, because I had just gotten signed, and I was really worried that, like, I wouldn't have the ability to maintain this level of writing if I wasn't high on something. And I just began taking more than I was prescribed. And I essentially, you know, I took so much that, like, my kidneys started to slowly, like, shut down. And you know, I went to the hospital, then I went to rehab, but I'm fine now. It was definitely a hard time, but luckily I got through it.
Do you believe that you're in a position to trust yourself, love yourself enough to know that there will not be a relapse?
I mean, all addicts are sort of at risk of relapse. One of the things that I do is I am constantly talking about my feelings with my friends and my family and my wife, and the only way to prevent, you know, a relapse is by keeping your addiction and what you know is your problem in the forefront of your brain always, because it's very easy for, you know, somebody who's addicted to get down on themselves and go right back. So I feel confident that I'm not going to relapse ever again, but you never know. You know, I did a few times, you know, before, when I would try and stop, but you know, it's been a year and a half now, and I feel good about it. So yeah, I think that I'm doing well, and I plan to continue, you know, doing well like this.
When you look at yourself in a mirror, are you proud of who you see?
Maybe I'd like to see myself a couple pounds thinner. But overall, yeah, I mean, I made a, you know, a big change, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there with my self-esteem. I always, you know, been hard on myself, but I'm definitely not disgusted with myself anymore. And you know, I'm working on appreciating the fact that I got through something hard, and not everybody does. So yeah.
And is it fair to ask with everything that you've accomplished, Judah, you haven't gone from the Adderall to something else, like another addiction did not surface. Like you're on a path. I'm assuming you're on a path to
Yeah.
where you've got the balance. There was no crutches or a crutch along the way.
Right. Yeah. Like I didn't go from Adderall to heroin, you know, but no, I'm just sort of like trying to stay away from controlled substances like that. You know, there is no crutch right now. You know, I really don't drink at all, other than, you know, a little wine once in a blue moon. But I'm trying to live like a very clean life from a medication perspective. From a food perspective, I'd say that I could definitely do better on my diet. You know, but you can't tackle everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotta like prioritize things. And
yeah, well, and here's the thing: you don't look in bad shape. You're in your 30s,
right?
So
yep.
The body's very different from when you're in your 20s.
It is.
You know, you're in Florida, so with the heat and humidity down there, you should be able to sweat out whatever you want to get rid of.
I'm trying. It's just that the those dollar menu items are just so appealing to me. They get me every time.
Where at, if I may ask?
Burger King is my weak spot.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Oh,
but you know, my wife's a dietitian, so I have to do it very carefully in the middle of the night when she's sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Not really, but
oh.
So yeah, but overall I'm happy, and I'm glad that things sort of like panned out for me in a good way.
The way to think of it, Judah, is always think about your health in a way where you're going to need to be stage ready every day. And why would you need to be stage ready? Well, when you're posting photos, videos, shout outs, even to get ready for live performances. People really don't know what's going to happen. And when I say that, every country's different. Anything, you're in a position, and I'm going to say this very, very much with what I believe is legitimacy. Anything and everything, as you are aware of, we all know, can change within a nanosecond. You never know if someone if the UK's got this pandemic, can get it in order, they start opening up. If somebody in Asia, Canada, you can get a phone call, your management can get a phone call, an email, whatever, to book you tomorrow, December. And I'm going to say if and when you were like, oh, I'm craving that dollar menu. if you are, or when you are, Judah, or doing it with responsibility, great. But in responsibility, or if it's through craving, just remember, starting now, you're always going to need to be stage ready.
True.
And that should be enough of a goal set to know, man, you don't want to wait to somebody when they give you a phone call being like, we're ready to book Judah Holiday. No, well, you're posting great content on Instagram. That's stage ready. People are going to do one thing, and one thing simply. They want to know, how can they emulate you, relate to you, and be part of your world. And look and image, sound, inflection, feel, whatever it is that your message is, that is what your fans, your supporters, your allies, your family and friends are looking for every single day. Every time they get a notification, Judah Holiday just posted. Judah Holiday is live.
Right.
And I hope that's enough incentive to realize that you need to be ready now. You need to be ready every day.
True. I agree. I'm going to take that into account.
Oh, I know you will.
And reduce my intake.
Well, you're a serious person and an artist, and you're from the Northeast, and you will, because that's what's gotten you to where you are today.
Yep, that's true.
So
I appreciate it.
You are very welcome. And what I would like to know is, what would you like to do in this moment to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to my wife, I would say, my parents and my management, especially with this song playing, for staying by my side through like a really dark time and believing that I could get through it, because their belief that I could get through it helped propel me forward, which allowed me to believe in myself. And that's really the most important to me. And, you know, to the people that listen to my songs and DM me and ask me questions, I think it's really cool how active people are. So I want to thank them too.
And I want to thank you for loving yourself, respecting the people that are in your life, Judah, to take what has been gifted to you and to be where you're at today. Your music is speaking to a lot of people. You're planting incredible seeds, such as the song Insomnia, for generations to hear. This doesn't just begin and stop now. This is infinite. And your voice, your message is going to always need to be heard. And most importantly, it's going to need to be ready and to be available when the time is right for those who are ready to hear it.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Judah Holiday, everyone, live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5.
You've a time well spent.
On your socials, and let's connect.
I've been on fire, 'cause I'm no fun when I'm watered down. I can keep quiet, but you can't tune me out when I come around. If I don't feel you, maybe it's 'cause I've been going numb. Need a new poison, doesn't matter where I might get it from. I need to believe that you're still there for me. I need to believe that we're playing for keeps. I stay under control till I fall out. I don't know who I am when I black out. Say you still be close to me right now. You don't wanna see me when I caught you up wasted, 'cause I can't deal with the weight of my guilt. I've been impatient, even in sleep, no I can't sit still. I need to believe that you're still there for me. I need to believe that I'm playing the keys. I stay under control till I fall out. I don't know who I am when I black out. Say you still be close to me right now. You don't wanna see me when I black out.